In this video, you will learn about two different types of eclipses, a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse. In order to understand an eclipse, you have to understand the shadows that these celestial objects will produce. If we look here at this picture of the sun and the earth is casting two different types of shadows. The first shadow, which is a complete and total shadow, is called the umbra. This is directly behind the earth. Also, you'll see a lightly gray shaded shadow, which is called the penumbra. This is a partial shadow. A lunar eclipse occurs when Earth passes between the Earth and the moon is within the Earth's shadow. This can only happen in a full moon phase. If you look at this picture, the arrangement for a lunar eclipse has to be sun, Earth, moon, because in order for the moon to be eclipsed or blocked out, meaning you can't see any light, something has to be in its way of the sun's light, and the only thing that can be in the way is the Earth. You'll notice here that the moon will pass through the Earth's umbra. When the moon totally passes through the Earth's umbra, that's called a total lunar eclipse. When it only partly goes through the Earth's umbra, that is known as a partial lunar eclipse. So let's look at this animation and watch this lunar eclipse occur. If you look over here, this will be the view of space from Earth. This is the moon coming around in its orbit. And then this cone right here would be the Earth's umbra, which is the total shadow. The sun is over here with these yellow arrows. So as the moon comes into the Earth's umbra or total shadow, you'll start to see a view from space that shows the moon eventually being eclipsed. And you can see that happening here. This shadow that's cast upon the moon is the Earth's shadow, and that is known as a total lunar eclipse because we pass completely through the Earth's umbra. So again, if you were going to see this on Earth, you would see that shadow cast over, and then you see a coppery red color of the moon. This is very typical when a total lunar eclipse occurs. A solar eclipse is when the sun is blocked out. So when we look up at the sun from the Earth, we see a shadow cast over the sun. This can only happen when the arrangement of the celestial objects is like you see in this picture: sun, moon, Earth. We need the sun's light to be blocked out from the viewers on Earth, and the only thing that can block it out is the moon. Now, if you notice here, the moon is a lot smaller than the Earth, so the amount of people that can see a total solar eclipse is a lot smaller than the amount of people that can see a total lunar eclipse. This can only happen during a new moon phase. So if we watch this animation again, here is the sun. You can see the view of the sun from Earth here, so what you'd be seeing if you were standing there. Here is the moon's umbra, or its total shadow, and here's Earth. So if we were standing on Earth, in order to see a solar eclipse, remember the sun is blocked out by the moon from us standing on Earth. And you can see that as the moon's umbra passes over the Earth, we see the shadow of the moon moving across, blocking our view of the sun. And this would be a total solar eclipse because the sun is blocked out. Now, the very last question we have to ask you is, we do have full moon and new moon pretty much every single month, so why don't we have lunar and solar eclipses every month? Well, the answer to that question is the tilt of the moon's orbit. If you look here at this animation, you can see that each time I have shown you an eclipse, the tilt has been 0. If I change that tilt, okay, to about 5 degrees, okay, and I try to move this back to see the eclipse again, you can see that as it passes through, and if you look here, there's no shadow cast upon the Earth. So in order for us to see a total or lunar eclipse, or even just a partial eclipse, we need the tilt to be at 0. We need everything to be completely lined up. So we find that this isn't always the case. The moon's orbit is tilted, so we do not see lunar eclipses and solar eclipses every single month.